Greetings, Captains, and welcome to another TFO training session on one of STO's newer TFOs, Royal Flush. In this video, we'll cover how to beat this challenging TFO on Elite.
The first objective is to destroy the tactical cube and beam emitter on Alpha. From there, the team must split up to destroy 3 more tactical cubes and their associated beam emitters while escorting 3 planet killers. On Elite, the Undine ships near each Borg dreadnought must be rescued. All 18 must be rescued or the mission fails. It is essential that all 3 planet killers be kept above 80%. Once the first 3 dreadnoughts are destroyed, 3 more octahedrons and beam emitters will become vulnerable. Destroy them. Finally, return to the center and defeat the cubes at waypoint Gamma, followed by the fusion cube that forms from them.
Thank you. Let's discuss risks and rewards. This TFO needs considerable coordination as all 3 lanes must be covered simultaneously, and the team needs to be aware of the priority of objectives. First, rescue the ships, then fully clear the unit-complexes of weapons emplacements, then defeat the Borg dreadnoughts. This poses both a coordination challenge and a DPS check, as speedy clears of each location are important. Enemy threat level is considerable, with a large number of turrets on the unit complexes posing the most threat. The various Borg sub-factions have differing abilities, but it's important to note that thus far we haven't observed feedback pulse. This TFO awards a high amount of Omega or Fleet marks along with a chance for subspace comm power pieces. Lastly, this operation's duration is variable, but despite the long briefing and 1 long cutscene, it can be completed on Elite in less than 10 minutes with a strong team. In event mode, the time can be reduced to 5 or 6 minutes via bypassing secondary objectives. The adversaries on this operation are a variety of Borg, with each lane hosting a different sub-faction. The biggest threat, as stated, are the stationary emplacements on each part of the unit complex by the Dreadnought. In the end stage, be sure to provide some distance from the cubes if using Fire at Will or Scatter Volley, so you can hit multiple segments of the fusion cube at once. They seem to have some sort of invisible barrier to prevent large AoEs from striking multiple segments and thus trivializing the encounter. As stated, the most important part of this mission is a clear understanding of the objectives. Covering all lanes simultaneously is essential. Unlike maps like Borg Disconnected, where it's possible to beat it on Elite while only covering 2 of the zones, it's impossible to beat Royal Flush on Elite without significant coverage and damage on each lane. If you're running this TFO for an event, in normal difficulty, you can ignore the optional objectives of keeping the planet killers above 80% health and rescuing Undine ships. This will speed up the map considerably at the cost of some small mark rewards. On Elite, ignoring those will result in swift failure. The proper order of objectives at each of the 6 locations is to rescue the Undine ships first, start clearing weapons emplacements, and then kill the dreadnoughts before moving on. Different builds excel at different parts of the map. AoE energy modes like Fire at Will or Scatter Volley excel at fighting unit complex defenses, which are numerous but relatively fragile. Single target builds or kinetic builds clear the larger Borg ships very well. Exotics are relatively ineffective on this map since enemy density is somewhat low. There are lots of enemies, but they're very spread out and most of them are stationary and cannot be moved or clustered. It certainly can be defeated by an exotic ship, but it's not as synergistic. Now, combat footage will be shown to illustrate the principles discussed previously. The goal of this section is not to illustrate perfect piloting, but provide an example of how to successfully complete the map with all objectives and without dying. Fire at Will builds excel on this map due to the large number of flimsy enemies that attack from various directions. Taking down the larger ships might require more focus, but those aren't associated with the failable objectives. It's the smaller, more fragile ships that can lead the mission to fail, which is why Fire at Will excels on this map. Once the briefing ends, finally, target Borg Cube Alpha, but stay below the cube to make sure you can splash all of the turrets below it as well. Note that this will draw more incoming fire, so be mindful of your survivability. Once the initial complex is cleared, pick a lane and move toward it. I chose to go south towards Beta. Use a speed boost to get there faster as you are on a timer here. Immediately move to the outskirts of the Unicomplex to free the 3 Undine ships first. There are 3 probes at each ship, and they're not too strong individually, so don't fire everything on them. Then move back to the Unicomplex. Just like an Alpha, target the cube, but fly low so you also hit the various weapons placements below it. This is the part where you'll take the most damage. Once the cube and associated emitter are destroyed, move toward the second area of the Unicomplex. Just like in the previous stage, the focus is on freeing Undine ships first, as ignoring that objective will result in swift mission failure. Free the Undine ships, then move on to the Unicomplex and destroy everything. In this case, I was asked to come over and help with Cube Gamma, since our solo player was still working on that first objective, and the planet killers simply can't handle much damage at all. We left one player to finish the octahedron where we were at, but since that's the second stage objective on that lane, he had more time to clean it up while the planet killer was in transit. We needed to get that cube down. I moved over, helped destroy the cube, and with the third lane already finished, I flew back to the south lane to help finish it up, before once again returning to the middle lane to finish that lane as well. If we were perfectly coordinated, we might not have needed so much back and forth, but in all honesty, this was our first successful completion of this TFO in Elite, after failing it a few times, so we were still figuring things out. Once all 6 dreadnoughts are down, you'll fight a total of 8 cubes. They don't deal a ton of damage, and they are spread apart enough that hitting more than a couple at a time will be difficult, but that's okay. After all 8 cubes are disabled, they'll fuse together into a single large fusion cube with multiple segments. Keep a little distance, and you should generally be able to hit multiple pieces of the cube with fire at will. Here, I tried getting close to the fusion cube to see if I could hit multiple targets at point blank range, and as you can see, the answer is no. Whatever invisible barriers are there, they extend beyond the segment's hitbox, so keep 3 or 4 kilometers distance, and you'll be able to hit multiple segments and bring the cube down faster. Once all segments are destroyed, the mission ends. Captain, if this breakdown helped you in your quest to play Stowe better, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel. The link to the specific build used for this tutorial is in the description. For more guides and builds, check us out at www.stobetter.com.